amazing because the number of things that I prioritize. Um, I've got the minoxidil for my hair growth, and you wouldn't know unless you had shaved your head, but it's sort of like working out. Things change, things are different, and I've said it before, so I'll just say it again. It's like you think because you're comfortable, the next thing that you do is going to be a sin, but it's not true. Maybe there is some sort of opportunity cost, or even if you've paid for something, if you use it, you might think of it like, you've spent some of it or something. I just went around and I took my handheld fan and this guy right here, and went around all of the corners that I could reach, which means the stairwell over here was not accessed, but my smudge came in. I woke up this morning and tidying up meant rearranging the flower bouquets, taking out the old stuff, and my peace lily was delivered and it looks really good. It's an indoor plant, and I've got the orchid. So I've got an orchid and a peace lily inside, and a couple of, or do I have just one bouquet now? Two bouquets. I have 2 potted plants and 2 bouquets. And I smudged all around with the Heritage Aura smudge. I was about ready for bed. It's 6:34 p.m. Central Time. I was ready to take a drink and go to sleep, and I smudged and I feel lighter. I feel like it's weird. I thought I would have been ready for bed after listening to music. I sang a couple songs. That's usually what I do to, expend some energy. And I just feel like clearer headed. And yeah, I highly recommend this stuff. Is on the website. It is sage, smokeless sage, because normally they come in these bundles and you're supposed to light them, but they create a lot of ash, and it's really dangerous. But you're supposed to go around the perimeter and with sage for what's called smudging, and it cleanses latent energies and things like that. It replaces these sort of toxic emotions with sage. And I highly recommend picking some up. I think this was like $18 or something. But it is not the same thing as just like a disinfectant or a perfume. It is different. yes, I have cancer. And I use homeopathic remedies. And if you're not as sensitive to these things, you won't care. But, you know, I'm happy for all the people who are so gorgeous and healthy that they don't seem to think that there's any problems anywhere around them. But that's not me. So I keep searching, I keep trying things, and it's interesting because, like I've said before, just because something isn't soiled doesn't mean that you should be punished from wanting to change it. There is a lot of benefit to, you know, taking ownership over your hygiene and your autonomy. You know, the thing with, you know, laundering your bed every day, which is supposed to be a military concept, which is supposed to be like the primary employment like in the country. But if you ask me, I mean, anyways, so, you know, they're doing it, whatever, and you know, maybe they're not advocating as much for lifestyle stuff as they could, you know, having a nice clean uniform and having you know, stipends and things. But the intention is to know that you can. You know, I think what people fail to understand is that people hold themselves together and like they won't go to the bathroom or something because they can hold it, because that's easier somehow. And that is a sign of trauma. That is a sign of insecurity. And that's gonna cause a bigger problem eventually. You need to take measures immediately to tend to yourself, to tend to your environment. If you're afraid that somebody's gonna like punish you because you sprayed sage, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to get a new home. Spray the sage and count your blessings. That's what it's about. All right.